Good morning, I'm Stan Casual.
And I'm Nicolea Princip. Here are this morning's top stories. The U.S. Forest Service killed Smokey the Bear to get people concerned about fire safety, according to The Onion. PETA is having a rally in protest of animal cruelty on Friday. Meanwhile, the remainder of the American public will be having a vigil for all of those who have not yet discovered the brave new world that is satire. Soma sales went through the roof after Donald Trump won the primaries last week, in hopes that they can escape back to a better time, like the Cold War. In a continuation of renaming the Dr. Seuss books, The Grinch was renamed The Psychological Implications of Holiday-Motivated Materialism. I think that's the best renaming since they changed 101 Dalmatians to Because We're Bokanoscopied. But that's for another show.
Here to comment on the story, he's a mean one, Mr. Grinch himself.
It's great to be back on the show, Stan. Glad the candles didn't burn the place down.
We did learn our lesson with candles. Don't steal menorahs, kids, unless you make sure they aren't lit. So, Mr. Grinch, how did you react when you found out your book was going to be renamed?
Well, personally, I find that consumerism is much too much of a burden. I would much rather steal. Oh, drat. My sponsor's going to hear that. He's not going to be pleased to hear that on live TV. Can you cut that out?
No, we can't cut anything out. We're live.
Okay. Oh boy. Whew. I'm on a 12-step program. Capitalism revolves around the consumer society. But after I solved world hunger and neglected to inform the world, I figured, why not make some kids cry? Am I right?
Mr. Grinch, do you mean to say you don't support the consumerist society?
No. In fact, I hate it. Double plus hate. Loathe.
Well, you sound like quite an Orwell Newspeak.
Well, I will tell you this one thing. I'm glad that I was born on the reservation. Huxley was obviously biased in his interpretation of our world. He made it sound so wretched. Not that he did the new world any favors. Consumerism has run amok. I, for one, as a reformed consumerist, have learned so much from my days of having a heart 3 sizes too small. And I blame the marketplace. It is corruptible and unjust. And another thing. While all the bleeding hearts of this world unite to perpetrate this more stitches, less riches nonsense, take a moment to remember that no matter how good something is in moderation, it will always end up like Walmart, made to be a larger scale. And not even I, the meanest, greenest, small-hearted Grinch like me, loves humanity too much for that kind of atrocity.
Yes, I believe we can all agree with that, but what do you say about Controller Bush and his claim that spending drives out the evil in the world? They have done a fairly good job of that, have they not?
Well, wouldn't the controllers all like us to think that stimulates the economy and promotes happiness and keeps everything perfect? They don't know what an economy is. Consumerism is a wonderful thing, to a point. Just like love is great to a point. Then it becomes stalking, and then suddenly they're all like, everyone in Whoville's just thinking that you're some big green freak. What was I saying? Ah, yes. The capitalism of the 1900s and the 2000s was a blessing. There was a flux. There was deficit spending. There was discourse, but it was true capitalism. Well, they have some kind of voodoo witchy fascist mind control.
Sorry, did you just say you stalked a girl?
That was beautifully worded, and all you got out of it was he fell in love? Really? This is why you're single. Thank you, Mr. Grinch, and good luck with the rest of your 12-step plan.
Yeah. Next on this morning's show, Lenina Crown and Bernard Marks are joining us to further discuss the issues with our savage world taking on a deeper consumerist economy.
Chloe, we invited Lenina. The last time she was here, she was like as high as a kite.
She's a wonderful person, subjected to a horrible situation, and all you got out of it is that she's on mandatory drugs. This is why you're single. Welcome back to the reservation, Lenina and Bernard.
My. This is such a different place than what we saw last time.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, it's so quaint. You live so frugally. I must remember to send a new shirt or two next time I see you. You've done with so little. You can only upgrade your iPhone once every year.
Yeah, I'm sure my last season Prada offends you greatly, but I have a brain and don't care.
I believe this is a primary example of why consumerism is an unmistakably treacherous part of any society. It creates unneeded competition between members of species and causes conflict where they needed be.
But Bernie, everyone's happy nowadays.
Nina, you look lovely.
I look lovely? Why, thank you. It's the latest model. And look at your clothes. That beastly wool. It lasts, and mine lasts. And you're supposed to mend it every once in a while when it gets torn. Besides, it never used to be the right thing to mend clothes. Throw them away when they've got holes in them, and buy the new stuff. The more stitches, the less riches. Isn't that right? Mending is antisocial.
Haven't we heard that somewhere before?
Huxley, page 121.
For some odd reason, I don't think she would have a problem with Wally.
Moving right along. Do you believe it's better for our society to go on without?
Of course, the process of becoming a consumerist society put pressure on the entire population. Everybody competes for the most highly coveted item in the industry that Vic or Apple come up with and tries to buy it before their friends gets it, but the salaries don't go up. If everyone was their own government, we could call it deficit spending and it would be A-okay. But since we all are our own people, we call it debt. And debt is bad.
Clearly, there has been a lack of imagination about just how much can possibly go wrong with this plan.
You should take some Soma. You're a little uptight.
No, I'm educated. If you roll your eyes hard enough, you might find a brain back there.
Bernard, with companies like P&G and Coke controlling most of our goods as savages consider necessary, how would you consider we cut back on our consumers, please?
Well, for starters, you could try making your own clothing or grow your own food. Don't let the world controllers control you. You can protest and get nearly sent to the Iceland, or you could just go against the social norm.
Or if all of that fails, Stan, we could call up the President's Petri dish kid and have him come back to our crazy savage world to overthrow the government. Right, Bernard? Right? No? Maybe I should try that on the other Bernie.
I don't understand you people. Your hatred of all these wonderful new things. Everything's beautiful and amazing now. You can buy a new whenever you feel like it, and your class is safe for you. Consumerism is a miracle.
No, sweetie. The fact that you can put together a complete sentence is a miracle.
You have to forgive her. She thinks of herself as meat.
Meat?
Yes.
As in M-E-A-T?
Yes.
She can spell?
I can spell? You think I'm meat?
Yes. Okay. But as Taylor Darden once said, the things you think you own end up owning you. And I don't think that has ever been truer in a world where it is nearly impossible to take phones out of the hands of your own children, and we are constantly vying for more and more materials just to say we have it.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Bernard and Lena. Nicolay and I are delighted to have you on the show.
This just in, live from Swanee.
It's Tuesday morning! Tuesday?
We've been over this.
It's Tuesday.
I haven't learned the days of the week yet.
It's Tuesday.